y'all? Thanks for stopping by the Obviously Lee Authentic channel. My name's Leah, that's spelled Lea and not Leah. So we are going to be talking about season 2, episode 7, Beast of Cauldron Island. So the episode opens up, we see the woodman. You already know the woodman makes me uncomfortable because he's chaotic neutral. He probably sell his, like, he would sell his, if he had a family, he would sell his family off rip just to get some money or do whatever, and then try to save them because he missed them, but then probably do it again and again and again. So like he makes me uncomfortable. We already know that. So he's chilling on the boat that he won on episode 2 with the gambling game, and basically, like I said, he's chilling, he's having a good time, and then some creature comes and smashes his boat to like smithereens. And he doesn't really get a good look at the creature, so he doesn't know what smashed his boat. But all we see is the woodman is like floating in the water and trying to like figure out what's his next move. So the next day we see the crew, we see Hilda, we see Frida, and we see David, and they're like playing on the beach. Frida's actually like practicing her magic. As we know in episode 3, Hilda and Frida, when they went to the librarian, they met the witches council, and now Hilda is practicing magic. We also know that Hilda is now her familiar. Normally familiars are pets, but Frida chose Hilda to be her familiar. So Frida is practicing how to do a magical bond with creatures, like a mental bond. And it was stated that like a lot of witches have mental bonds with their familiars. And like I just said, familiars are normally animals. So David is like running around the beach, and then he notices this large crowd of like adults, and they're like angry, and they're actually, then we see Eric, like, and we all know Eric is a safety patrol or the rent-a-cop, and they're pissed off at Eric because they feel like he's not really doing his job because their ships have been destroyed. And it seems to me that Trollberg is a port town, so that means basically most of them, probably majority of their income of a lot of people that live there come from being fishermen or being sailors, like moving other people's cargo throughout the land and stuff like that. So like they're pissed because their boats are broken and their livelihood is being it's basically being destroyed. So Eric is like, don't worry, we gonna figure out how to get this together. But then all of a sudden all the fishermen jump to conclusions and basically say that the Lindworm is the one that is wrecking their ships. We know since last season that the Lindworm is basically she's harmless as long as you don't mess with her plants or like you agitate her. She normally stays to herself. She's not really like, she's not the type to go and destroy ships just because she feels like it. Like the ship would have had to been doing something to her or encroaching upon her territory to do it. But she didn't do it. So Hilda and Frida and them are like basically like, no, she's innocent. But none of the adults are listening to them. So Eric, being his annoying self, is like, let's go and like capture it or kill the Lintworm so it will stop destroying the ships. So then we notice, and if you see me looking down, it's because I'm looking at my handy dandy notes. Then we see Hilda like ciphering through the wreckage that like of some of the boats, and we find the woodman, but it's not really all of the woodman. So the head that was floating outside the water, when we saw the woodman floating in the beginning of the scene, it was basically just his head. Luckily, the woodman is like still alive, so they're like, oh, okay. So the crew decides, like, you know what, we're going to go save the Lindworm and, like, warn her about the sailors coming to get her. And then we're also going to go find Woodman's body. And then this is where things get a little shaky. So we talked about last time that Hilda is constantly, like, lying to her mom, or she isn't really... Yeah, she's lying, or she's basically lying by omission, not giving information to Joanna, which is her mom. And I guess her and her mom were supposed to have a picnic, but she lies to her mom to cancel the picnic so she could go help the woodman and save the lindworm. My thing is like, if you the mom already knows that like what Frida could get into or gets into. So I feel like I don't get why Frida just won't tell her mom like, yo, this is what's happening. This is what we're trying to do. Like, but I also understand that I got something in mind. I also understand that I think it comes from Frida wanting to have like some sort of like independence and stuff. So she really doesn't tell her mom a lot of things, but she should tell her mom, because it's like I feel like things would go a lot smoother if they had adults around. But that's just me. But this is it's a coming of age story. So I can't really like press the issue about her lying to her mom, because that's mostly a trope in coming of age stories. So Alfred is there, and we already know he's the little cute little elf guy. He notices that Hilda is lying, and he feels like, girl, you about to, he tells her like, you're gonna get in trouble for lying. But he ends up going with Hilda to Cauldron Island. So basically they ask a wind spirit, not a wind spirit, a water spirit, to help them get to Cauldron Island, because they don't know how to work a boat. So again, it's David, Frida, Hilda, and Alfred. It's Alfred. Yeah, it's Alfred. I want to call him Alfred so bad, but it's Alfred. So the group decides to split up. So Frida, Hilda, and the woodman decide to go underwater to figure out like what's going on down there. And we end up finding out that the woodman can actually speak to the water spirit. So he creates like this cool little bubble for them, and they go underneath the water. While Alfred and David are tasked with basically warning the lindworm about the ships coming to like hurt her, and like basically saying, girl, you got to get out of here. Well, we know the lindworm, she is like not one to be afraid of anything and never back down from anything. So she says she ain't leaving, and like she ready for war. And I said, okay, girl, you ready for the war? You ready for the war? So Alfred comes up with an idea to send a message to the Lost Clan, who are basically little Viking elves, to like basically start a fake war with the lindworm. So they're basically going to use the little elves as a decoy, and say that these elves were the ones that were coming to do her harm. So they ready, but we all know the elves, the Lost Clan is about their life. They mimic Vikings, so they down for the fight. So the pretend fight actually turns into a real fight. And like David and Alfred are like, oh crap. So now they're trying to like stop the war or the battle going on between the lindworm and the Lost Clan, plus trying to get her to leave so she doesn't get hurt by the adults and the fishermen and the seamen coming to like destroy her. So while Frida and David are Frida, Hilda, and Woodman's head are like in the water looking, they come across a ship graveyard, and they also come across another dragon. And he basically tells him like, yo, there's something in this water that I've never seen that scares me. So that lets us know like if it scared the dragon, then it's something real out here and out there. So things continue, but the boats, so basically Eric and the sailors make it to Cauldron Island, and they actually shoot a harpoon at the lindworm, but they have horrible aim, so it doesn't hit them. So then like now like all their attention, like, so the Lost Clan, the lindworm's attention is now to the adults who like came at them. It gets crazier from there, because we end up finding out that stupid Eric installed an automatic bell like system into the water where when we saw that old bell the first episode, and it's been ringing, and that basically woke up the Kraken. So they see little Krakens who we find out are the Kraken's offspring, and stupid Eric. If they would have never hit the bell, none of this would have been happening. So the Kraken was basically like woken up. We end up finding out that like by the Woodman. So we're learning the Woodman knows a lot about all the magical creatures that live in the world of Hilda. And the woman basically was like, the Kraken should be asleep for 175 years, like another 175 years. But the constant ringing of the bell, because this time the bell didn't ring every hour on the hour. It rang continuously. So it woke the Kraken up from her slumber. We also find out that Cauldron Island is the top of the actual Kraken's head. So now everybody is like freaking out because it's a Kraken. And we know how Krakens get down. They get the Kraken. That was corny. My bad. And basically Frida ends up mentally bonding with the Kraken and explaining to her that like there's a grave shipyard, a ship's graveyard down in the water, because we find out that the Kraken is destroying the ships to feed to her offspring. Like the kids, like I guess that's their main food source is the wood from the ships. So when Frida mentally like telepathically talks to the adult Kraken, she decides to retreat. Also, I guess she ends up finding the bell. I don't know if Frida told her where the bell was located or she saw it in her mind or something, and she destroys the bell. So Eric and that's the thing. Eric really made me not like him this episode. Like I'm solidified that like he is probably not gonna get redeemed this season because I don't like him. Because once everything stopped, he was like mad, so he decided to shoot a harpoon at the Kraken while it was holding Frida. So I'm like, why are you shooting the harpoon at the Kraken while there's children still around in the sea? I can't remember if the Kraken still had Frida, because the Kraken grabbed Frida, or if she put Frida down and he decided to shoot at her. But the Kraken broke the harpoon, and then Eric decided to like retreat. But that pissed me off because it was like, she's not destroying anything else. She's going away, and you can't kill a Kraken, stupid. It's the size of an island. But they basically end up finding out that's the one that was destroying the ships, and it was Eric's fault. Everything's going to be Eric's fault. I feel like that's what's going to happen by the end of this season. Everything's going to be Eric's fault. And then one of the little baby Krakens gave Woodman back his body. So that was I thought it was a cute episode. Oh, no, that's not even the end of the episode. My bad, y'all. When Frida gets home, she ends up getting grounded because her mom realized that she was lying. Because I think Frida made a dumb lie. Like, she's not good at lying. Because I think she said she was going to spend the night or hang out with her friends. And then she went checking for her, and she wasn't there. So she found out that Frida was lying. So she's grounded and very pissed off that she got grounded. But it's like, stop lying to your mom. That's the only thing I don't get. Like, why are you lying to her? Your mom seems pretty chill and pretty down for whatever. Like, she allowed you to go roaming through the woods the first season, like by yourself, before y'all had to move to Trollberg. So I'm like, she's probably more lenient than you think, but I don't know. Hilda just need to stop lying because it obviously got her in trouble. But y'all, that's it. That's all. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for watching the videos and enjoying and liking and stuff like that. Please comment. Please subscribe. I want to know what your thoughts are on the series thus far. And yeah, have a good day, have a good week, or whenever you see this, I hope you're having a productive and positive day. Deuces.